Hello, Anita Bonds. My name is Sheptock. We've met many times in the past. We first met when you were a council staffer back when I was fighting for Franklin some years ago. But that said, I've been advocating for DC's homeless for about 8 years, beginning in June 2006. So, in 2013, January 2013, I had been hearing for about a year and a half about the possible closing of the CCNV shelter behind me, that is the Community for Creative Nonviolence, and I was told that it could close as soon as 2018. So in January 2013, I did some research. I filed the FOIA request with the feds, and I got information about the property, about 100 pages of it. It's in my email still. I can forward it to you. But that said, I sent that information over to Councilman Jim Graham, and then Graham convened a hearing on June 27th of 2013, and people from the shelter came out and spoke, and then homeless service providers also came out and spoke. And then at the hearing, he decided to convene a task force. The task force ran from October 8th of 2013 until July 8th, 2014. Now, the task force has been dissolved, and we had put forth 17 principles that the task force agreed on. And those 17 principles on July 14th got put into a piece of legislation, and that legislation basically says that the mayor has to make a decision on the future of the people and the property behind me, and then it lists the 17 principles that to the highest degree possible, the mayor shall house people near transit, house the elderly that are currently in the building, and the handicapped, and the then current residents of CCNV whenever the place closes. And everything is to the highest degree possible, and it just says the mayor has to make a decision, but it doesn't say what kind of decision. It's very broad, it's very vague. It gives him carte blanche to do whatever he wants to do. And so the advocates decided that was too broad. We wanted to narrow it down. We also wanted to have the advocates at the table when the mayor decides how much he can do and what it is to the highest degree possible on any of those 17 principles. And so more recently, you and others on the council congratulated Councilman Jim Graham, who led the charge on that piece of legislation, and said that you were going to carry the torch going into the new administration. And that's the reason for which I come to you today, because I want you to carry the torch, and not just you, the council collectively, but you specifically, Miss Anita Bonds. We want you to carry the torch, and we want you to meet with us and to talk about how to proceed in this matter. So I'm inviting you to do lunch with me sometime in the very near future after the election, and maybe we should flesh this out some more and talk about what needs to happen and how we're going to make it happen and what's best for the residents of CCNV. And we also want to involve them to the highest degree possible, but we want to have the advocates at the table talking with the mayor, probably the new mayor, about what happens with this property. And we also want to have a focus on the homeless people who can work, because I've been peeved for a number of years by the fact that all the emphasis was for so long just on the most vulnerable who can't work, and then we shifted to the families, and I'm glad they're all being taken care of. I'm not against that at all. Don't get the wrong message, but we need to split our attention and take care of all of the subdivisions of the homeless population simultaneously and get as many as possible working, because it's been determined by a survey done by TCP that about half of the homeless are of working age and able to work. About another 5 or 10% are beyond working age but have the right to work if they want to. So at least half of the homeless population can and should work. And so let's come together about the future of CCNV, about getting people working, about helping all subpopulations of the homeless community, and let's do lunch. Thank you.